Welcome, everyone, to our Tips from the Top training today, where we will be covering one of the 4 keys to success. My name is Chris Whitaker, and I'm one of the training and field development managers here at Via One Hope, and I'm very excited that you're joining us today. The 4 keys to success here at Via One Hope are bookings, which also include host coaching, selling, recruiting, and developing. Today, we're jumping right into recruiting, and we have a very special guest sharing her tips with you today. Before I introduce her to you, I wanted to just say a few words about recruiting and building your team. Recruiting is simply sharing the opportunity with others, just as someone shared it with you. It's truly the heart and soul of our business, and it is an essential skill set for the CEO who has significant dreams and goals to grow her business. Since recruiting is simply sharing, and sharing is virtually in the DNA of every CEO, it's something that we do naturally. But really, we do it without thinking too much about it. Or do we? Because I think where people struggle with recruiting is that they are, in fact, thinking too much about it. But listen, when you experience a new restaurant, a great book, or a great movie, isn't it true that you tell everyone about it? You usually can't help it. You're just so excited about it. Well, if you do this, do you feel rejected if someone doesn't go right out and see that movie or read that book or go to the restaurant? Of course not. Recruiting is exactly the same. It's all about sharing something that you love. It's all about what you're passionate about. And in this case, it's our businesses and it's the opportunity that we have. When you approach recruiting as sharing the gift of opportunity or impact, you will have the mindset of success. We're going to be expanding more and more on this topic to help you build your skills in recruiting in the next couple of months. To kick it off, your very successful leaders in Via One Hope are going to share with you their top tips and what's working for them. Our first guest is none other than one of our very first CEOs in Via One Hope, Senior Executive Director Danielle Zopf. Danielle lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and she leads the team called the Pinot Gallery. I love that name. She has been with Via One Hope since the very beginning, and she's passionate about educating everyone about One Hope and their mission and the causes that we partner with. She's built a dynamic business that's a mixture of wine tastings and a lot of corporate gifting. As accomplished as Danielle is, she is consciously moving out of her comfort zone this year to expand her booking and her recruiting skills. Danielle is a busy wife to Dave and mother to Ava and Abby. And when Danielle isn't working, you can find her cheering on Ava at rugby or games or Abby in track. So I know that you're probably freezing right now. At least here in Ohio, you would be freezing. Danielle will be sharing with you all her 7 steps to becoming a recruiting machine. So Danielle, welcome to our call.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Chris. I'm excited to be on today and really, like Chris said, just share some of my tips. I will tell you that recruiting has not been something that's come naturally to me. As Chris shared, I'm great at selling and doing corporate and booking. Recruiting has been a little bit of a stretch. So I hope that some of the tips that I share with you will help you feel more confident and more able to get out there and recruit and build your team. So obviously, if you're on this live Zoom or you're listening, you have already decided that you want to recruit and build, which is awesome. Chris has shared a number of times that recruiting really is the gateway skill and the gateway to growing your business. So if you're out there and you're recruiting, you're building your team, and then that's kind of rolling into more business and more growth for you overall. So real quickly, I just want to go through my 7 steps. And I don't know, I wrote something down. If I put this up, is it backwards? It is backwards.
No, I see it. It's perfect.
See it? Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go through the 7 steps. And then Chris, if you want me to pause and ask questions after each step, you just let me know. But I really think the first step in recruiting is you have to decide. I don't know if this is backwards, sideways, but decide. And what I mean by that is you have to decide that recruiting is indeed the gateway skill for your business, and you have to decide that recruiting is important. You have to also decide that you're going to master it. If it doesn't come naturally to you, that's okay. You have to decide in your mind that you're going to conquer it, or you're going to learn to become a better recruiter, or you're going to learn to decide that it's important. For me, I have to decide that going out there, even though I'm afraid, or even though I'm skeptical, or I'm worried about what people might think or say, I have to decide that recruiting is much more important and bigger than my fears or my insecurities, and just get out there. Because it is bigger than your fears, but you have to decide in your mind that you're going to do it, you're going to learn how to do it, you're going to master it, and then you're going to put your own insecurities, your own beliefs, your own fears, all of that to the side, and you're just going to decide to do it. The next step is, Chris already touched on, is your mindset. You have to decide that you're going to recruit, and then you have to you have to focus on your mindset. And what that means is, just as Chris even shared, you guys, we have a gift to offer people. We have something that's very special and unique. We have a way to earn an income, and we have a way to make an impact every day through an everyday product. It's a bottle of wine, and it's a gift set. So I think oftentimes, and I'll speak for myself, when I go to approach someone, what do I do in my mind? I automatically judge. Oh, they're not going to want to do this. This isn't a good fit for them. Maybe I go at someone more in a apologetic standpoint, like, I'm sorry to bother you, but I just thought I would share this opportunity. Or you go at it and you say, please, can I just have a few minutes of your time? It's like, rather than have the mindset of apologizing that you're bugging someone, why not have the mindset of, oh my gosh, this is the best thing, you guys. I get to sell wine, I get to drink wine, and I get to give back at the same time. If you change your mindset and you approach the whole world that you have this gift, it truly is a gift. It's an opportunity. Just like Chris said, if you tell someone to go to a movie and they don't go to the movie, that's okay. But at least you shared, at least you opened up and talked about how great the movie was, or that pair of shoes, or whatever your favorite sweater is. Why not have the same mindset with Via One Hope and all the awesome goodness that we get to do every day? So instead of begging or saying you're sorry or apologizing, I think we just go into it. We've decided we're going to recruit. We've set our minds to sharing the opportunity and the gift, truly the gift that we have to offer people. Sorry, I'm going to turn my page here. I'm not very good at this stuff. Okay, the next one is sort of my favorite. So you're going to decide, and then you're going to set your mind to sharing the gift and the opportunity. You're not going to worry about what people are going to think, or if they're going to judge you, or where they're at. The third step, I think, is you're going to focus on collecting friends. You know who's really good at collecting friends? Jess Landau. I'm calling you out, sister. Jess Landau is a collector of friends. Jess Landau, you guys probably know, won the Suitcase Challenge. She recruited like a bazillion people last year. But the point is, with collecting friends, is it's about, I think, again, going back to not having any expectations or prejudgments of people. And maybe it's not even sharing the opportunity. Maybe it's just meeting people and talking to people. Your hairdresser, the person driving your taxi cab, when you go to Nordstrom Rack and the 21-year-old cute girl that's checking you out with your credit card at Nordstrom Rack. Maybe you're just talking and you're collecting friends, and maybe you're connecting with that person on Facebook. You're not even saying, hey, come work with me or anything. You're just building your network. You're broadening your awareness. You're bringing people into your orbit, if you will. So that, again, Chris kind of said it too, so that at that point, maybe you're not sharing it right then, but down the road, there becomes an opportunity to share the opportunity and be like, hey, I see that you liked my post about our wine sale. You know, would you like to learn more about our wines? And then that becomes, you've built this network, and then that becomes a way that you can then share the opportunity. People don't always join or go to the movie the minute you tell them. It may take time, and you may build a friendship, you may build a relationship, you build trust, and then that person could join your team or become a great customer for you. So number 3 is collecting friends. Number 4 is developing positive daily habits. And I think Katie did a Monday Mojo on something similar to this too. You guys could probably find it on the leader page. But daily positive habits. I really think that we're a slave to our habits anyway. So why not develop positive habits rather than sitting and watching negative news or staring at Facebook, surfing Facebook? Why not do things like read a book, do personal development, meditate, whatever it is for you that could be a positive, again, because this is going to go to your mindset, right? It's going to help put you into a daily mindset of, I'm deciding I'm going to recruit today. Okay, I just watched a 20-minute video on recruiting for my positive daily habit. Now I'm in the mindset and I'm ready, and I'm going to go find that one person, maybe one person a day that you could share the opportunity with. Maybe sharing it with one person a day becomes a daily positive habit. Maybe collecting 1 or 2 friends every day. Again, with 1 or 2 friends, you're not sharing the opportunity. You're not necessarily doing anything other than making a new friend. Maybe you're doing 2 of those a day, and that's getting you in the mindset of, hey, I'm getting out there, I'm talking to people, I'm building my network, I'm making friends. If you did 2 a day, that's 700 and something people a year that would now be in your orbit that could either become a customer, they could become a new CEO, maybe they don't want to be a CEO, but maybe they know someone who wants to be a CEO or someone who wants to be a customer. And so you've kind of built this whole thing by just collecting 2 new friends every day. I mean, I think that that's something that I could do, that I'll challenge myself to do. But I think if you're doing positive daily habits, you're building momentum, you're building confidence. I know it's made me feel more confident. We're not all going to be recruiting masters right out of the gate, but if you start doing it and you start doing it daily, then progress becomes perfection. Progress is perfection. It'll come easier for you, and you're going to feel more natural at it. And so I would just love to see everyone think about 1 to 2 people a day that you could either share the opportunity with or bring into your network of friends that you start collecting. So that's the 4th. Number 5 is to be prepared always. Be prepared always. Right? Because you never know who you're going to run into. You never know who you're going to meet. Be prepared, you guys, with stories to share. You know, we have a cool opportunity in that we all really have a why. We have a why for why we've started this business. So you're building friends, you're building your network, you've got a good mindset, you're out there, you're talking to people, and someone says, oh, well, why do you work for that company? Why do you do that wine sales? Be prepared to tell your why. Why are you working for Via One Hope? Be prepared to tell other stories. Let's say you meet a teacher and you've never been a teacher. I've never been a teacher. And that teacher would love to quit her teaching job, and she would love to be able to do entrepreneurship, give back full time. Be prepared to share a teacher story, or share another CEO story, or share your upline story, or heck, share the One Hope story. Share stories about our nonprofit partners. Say something about how cool it was that you got to do a wine tasting and you got to raise, money for your local Nashville Humane Society or your local Susan G. Komen chapter. Like those stories, that's what people want to hear, and that's what gets people excited, right? It's like, I don't remember how the saying goes because I'll mess it up. But Jake says it so eloquently when he says, people aren't going to necessarily remember the bottle of wine they're drinking. They're going to remember the people that they were with while they were drinking that wine. So share the stories. Be prepared to share stories. When someone says, oh, what do? Don't go back to that whole apologetic thing. Oh, well, I work for, network marketing, multi-level marketing. Don't do that. Share stories and be, again, forthcoming with the opportunity and the stories of change and impact. Also be prepared with tools, right? Like business cards. Always have, Jess does a cool thing. She doesn't like to carry actual business cards. She carries one and tells people to take pictures of it because that's brilliant, because then you're exchanging phone numbers and you're able to then reach back out. So have the person take a picture of your business card. Oh, give me your cell, I'll text, then you've got it. Then you can follow back up. So that's another good idea. Maybe have postcards or catalogs, whatever, but just, you need to have tools prepared and you need to have stories prepared. The number 6 step is enthusiasm. This doesn't mean you have to be wild and crazy, and it doesn't mean that you have to be super extrovert. I'm not super extrovert. Everybody knows that about me. I'm an extroverted introvert, something like that, I say. But just be enthusiastic. I will say, you guys know, anybody who knows Nicole Wilson, I'm going to call her out. Nicole Wilson is probably an extroverted introvert. But guess what? Every time Nicole Wilson does a tasting, people will come up to her and say, man, I can really tell you love your job. Like, she gets told that. I am not kidding you, every time she does a tasting, because she's enthusiastic about what she's doing. The wines, the giving back, when you're out there talking to people, be contagious. You guys, we do really have this cool thing to offer. It's impact, it's wine, it's give back, it's fun, it's all of that. So be contagious. And I would consider having enthusiasm and being contagious become one of your daily habits. And if that's something you have to work toward, that's okay. But have that become, when you're out talking to people, again, don't be like, what do you do? Oh, I work for, no, be like, oh my gosh, I get to do all of this. I drink wine, and I'm out there talking to people. We're making, impacts all over Nashville. That's going to bring excitement and energy. And then the last step is to think bigger. And think bigger faster. So don't think about, and again, it's kind of the power of opening your mind. Why not think big? Why not think of how many people you could recruit, right? Why not decide I'm going to win the next suitcase challenge, or I'm going to win the next recruiting incentive? Why not think bigger versus just small? Think about doing something amazing this year. My prediction for 2018, just mine, it's going to be explosive, you guys. Like, it's going to be a big year. And if you want to be a part of the, the earning and a part of the growth and the explosion that's going to happen, then you've got to start thinking bigger. You've got to start thinking about, I think, building your network, your little orbit around yourself, collecting friends, sharing your stories. And again, if you're not comfortable just doing the, hey, join my team, just start by asking questions and listening. When you ask someone, hey, what do you do? And they say, oh, I'm a financial planner. Ding, 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 ding. Guess what? Financial planners might give gifts, or financial planners might want to host a wine tasting at their office for their clients. Or so I guess I just think, why not think big? Let's not be small-minded. Let's be big-minded. Let's decide we're going to recruit. Let's have the mindset to recruit. Let's be positive. Let's be prepared. Let's be enthusiastic. Let's share the gift and the opportunity that we have. And I don't know. What could possibly go wrong? You're out there and you're sharing, and I think it would be great. So those are my 7 steps. And I have found collecting friends is working a lot for me. That for me helps me not feel like salesy or like I'm trying to pitch the opportunity. I'm just trying to get to know you. Let's see where this can go.
Well, I love that, Danielle. I love that collecting friends is your favorite part, because I think that hits it right in the core. This is a relationship business. This is meant to be fun. This is meant to be something where we can go out there and we can do good, but do good while building relationships and being with people. And what you shared that Jake had said about, it's not the bottle of wine you're going to remember as much as the people that you were with. It's so true. And that's such an opportunity that we all have. And, back when I was in the business, I remember a lot of people, and even my own fears that I had when it came to recruiting and sharing the opportunity, really were just fears of rejection, fears of people saying, or thinking that I was weird or that I was coming across as being very, very strong. And what I realized is that it's so important for us to be ourselves, to be authentic, and to really feel what's inside us. And as you said, Nicole, Nicole is one of those people, because even though she's an extroverted introvert, which I think I might be too,
there's a lot of us.
People come up to you. And I remember this happening to me too. People would say, wow, you love what you do. And at the end of the day, isn't that the best thing ever when you can say, I really love what I do? And I believe that most of the time, I would say that not so much because of people that, well, I love to meet people out doing tastings or parties or just, being out and about, but it's also my team. Realizing the success of my team is probably what brought me the greatest joy. So you can only do that if you're sharing the opportunity and you're actively out there talking to people. So this has been very, very good. I do have a question, and then we'll open it up for everybody else to ask questions too. You challenged everybody. I love that you challenged everybody in the middle to go out there and get 1 to 2 new contacts every day, or to share this with 1 to 2 people every day. I think that's a great place to start. And I love that you touched on consistency, because it is those small acts that you can do over time that are going to build that big momentum. So can you give us some idea, Danielle, of where or how you would approach people about the opportunity? Is it when you're out and about? Or are you picking people from a list and making phone calls? What's that look like for you?
I think it's both. I do a lot of collecting friends through Facebook, and I don't necessarily share the opportunity. That's not what I'm doing. I might just be reconnecting with someone who I see lives in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And so I go, oh, I'd love to have a team member in Arizona. I don't have any team members in Arizona. So I might just reach out and say, hey, it's been a while. How are you? I hope everything's great. And, again, I'm not saying, hey, do you want to sell wine with me? I'm just reconnecting, and then I can reconnect again if she likes something that I post, or I see she's posting a fundraiser, then I could maybe jump in and say, hey, would you be interested in doing an online tasting? Or, I just think it's just reconnecting sometimes. Mm-hmm. Just reaching out. And I think I don't know who I shared this with, and I hope it's okay if I share it now, but I actually, on my table display, I think it was you, Chris, wasn't it? In Mexico, I put a sign on my table that says, it's the one that says we're hiring, or tired of the 9 to 5, whichever one that is, I frame it. And I actually have that on my table, mm-hmm. because at events, because that helps me, again, to feel like people will see that and maybe they'll approach me, and it's a way that I can start the conversation without feeling like I'm coming on too strong. So that's something else that I do just to attract interest.
Yeah, that was one of our great conversations we had in Mexico, where we were talking about how you need to be yourself and use the language that you're comfortable with, and really, one of the things that I know a lot of people like to say that was a game changer for them is saying, "I'm staffing my team."
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really talking about recruiting. It's not talking about, oh, join my business or sign up with us. I mean, those are the things that, join us is good. That's an invitation. However, it's overused a lot. And then definitely when people say things like, you should sign up with us, or you'd be great at this. Those are things that make people go, how do you know that? Or signing up almost sounds like you're getting married, or you're, signing your life away, and you don't want to do that. So you definitely want to focus on just being friendly. And I see Kelly's making a point down there that we're a rapidly growing company. I'm going to unmute everybody because we only have a few people on the call today, and we can definitely unmute, and then that way you can jump right in. But it is such a, it's such a, let's see, unmute. Okay, there we go. There's a fine art, and everybody has to feel really comfortable and be very, very proud out loud, but not in your face. I don't think they have to be in your face. So Kelly, was there a point you were going to make?
No, just that's my verbiage. Like I think it was either you or Danielle said you have to be comfortable with the words that you're using. It has to be authentic to you.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's important to get in touch with.
Oh. Yes. Now we have somebody who's unmuted that doesn't know we're unmuted. And I guess let's see if that's a person. So that's awesome, Kelly. I agree. It really is funny because so many times, as I mentioned in the beginning, we overthink this way too much. And I love, Danielle, how you had this process of starting with the decision. Everything starts with the decision. And then just moving right through, the whole process of what it takes to actively, talk to people and create that interest. So, and a lot of times it's words to say that people just need to have that clue of what to do, what to say. Does anybody else have a question for Danielle or anybody that's on the call today? Or a comment?
I like, Danielle, that you are collecting friends and just being patient about it. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times we get impatient and we want to grow these like ginormous teams and just, we only see the outcome of the announcement that someone's joined your team, and you don't see the hours and, weeks and months that may have gone into getting that new team member. And I think that's okay. It's, that it's going to be a long game, and it's not going to be, I'm going to throw this opportunity out there and everybody's just going to jump on it, and I'm going to have this huge instant team. That it takes time, and it takes building those relationships, like you said. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And there's different types of people too in the business. There's the people who are going to do a little bit here and there. And then there's the people who are going to, really get, can I bring in a big chunk of people right in the beginning and start with building a momentum that way, because there's so much enthusiasm when you first begin your business that a lot of times we think, oh, if I just started, I'm not ready to build. But it really is that time when you're most excited about your business, and a lot of people are attracted to it. So there's that opportunity too. And then we have the people who, of course, are focused on just building big anyway, as Danielle talked about, thinking bigger than ever before. And any way that you do it, it's the right way to do it because it's your way. It's what you feel. It's what you feel is right for building your business. So that's awesome. Anyone else? All right. Well, I love that Danielle threw out a great challenge to everybody to talk to 2 people every day. And if that's something that you're already doing and building the consistency there, then maybe challenge yourself to do even more. Double that, make it 4 or make it 5 a day. You can find those places where, you know, you're going to be seeing people on a daily basis, but it's about building that relationship and collecting those friends. And this has been a great training. And I think that is something that we can carry on throughout the community after we post it. It'd be fun to generate some more discussion from this training. So thank you so much, Danielle, for sharing this with us. Thanks, you guys, for spending some time with us today. And I look forward to our next time that we get together. And in the meantime, don't forget, of course, mixed sales going on, which is so exciting. And I think we have that through the 18th, which is what, Sunday? And then we will switch over next Monday with a new bunch of mix, which is so fun. And we also, I want to remind everybody that Crush registration is going to end on March 31st. And that's, early bird Crush registration will end on March 31st. And that's a huge deal because you're going to get, I think, $200 in extra goodies and swag and stuff for registering early, and it is a savings of about $50 or $60, I think, off the registration price. So definitely want to get people signed up for Crush. So if you have any questions at all about anything like that, if you have any questions about Danielle about Danielle's topic after this call today, definitely reach out to her and reach out to us on the community forum. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Danielle.
Welcome.